As we come upon this module, we are ending the last four books of the Iliad as books 21 and 22. And this can also basically be known as Troy Story, somewhat like Toy Story, but Troy Story, because we are concluding the showdown that is going to ultimately take place between Hector and Achilles. With Book 21, the Trojans have retreated into the city walls. Apollo keeps Achilles from killing Agenor. And remember that there has been many or much intervention on behalf of the gods because they've gotten permission from Zeus to do so. Because there are certain people that are not yet fated to die. If you remember back in book 20, it was Poseidon who kept Achilles from killing Aeneas. Apollo appears as Agenor to get Achilles off track, and this does nothing but only to fuel the fire that is raging inside of Achilles when he sees that he has been taken off mission. The river in this book, in the last book, we saw that the horses were personified. In this book, the actual river is personified, and it is basically an immortal in itself. Whereas the horses spoke to Achilles last time, the river is now speaking to Achilles. And he actually tries to kill Achilles because he is going, Achilles is on a rampage and is so overwrought with emotion and anger that he is basically being reprimanded by this god. Achilles is killing so many people that the river is going to throw up bodies, and it is trying to do away with Achilles. And then Hera, and then to keep Achilles from being killed, Hera and Hephaestus, who is, remember, the god that made Achilles' armor, they intervene and save him. When book 22 opens, we have finally the showdown between Hector and Achilles. And Achilles is going to get to exact his revenge upon Hector for killing Patroclus. And the battle that goes between them, we see the differences in the code of honor. And the code of honor is a theme that is yet another underscoring theme event that runs between the lines of every book in every chapter. You can compare and contrast the code of honor that is represented by Achilles versus the code of honor that is represented by Hector. And you can think back to all of the different examples of each, where they have upheld it and where they have not. What does it actually mean to have this code of honor? And is it upheld between the different characters? Achilles, in his own mind, is upholding the code because he's avenging a fallen fellow warrior. And then Hector would be doing what he considers to be adhering to the code of honor because he is standing up for his people. He is fighting for a cause, even though it is one that is not his own, but he is representing his people, his brother, his country. And so there are different sides of the coin, and it's not really a right or wrong situation, but one that can be explored and fleshed out for both sides. In this book, we also see Zeus is going to finally and once and for all, bring out again the golden scales of fate, and he weighs both sides, the Greek and the Trojan, and we see that the Trojans are ultimately going to fall because it is deemed for Achilles to be victorious. Hector's parents, before he goes out to fight, they beg him to reconsider. And if we are looking at this code of honor for Hector, another examples and support system for his code of honor are the ideas of responsibility, duty, and control that he exhibits. We've seen it earlier when he was talking with his wife Andromache. She did not want him to go. We saw a softer side of Hector when he was interacting with his son Astyanax, but it was this continual call of duty and honor to represent his family and his country that threw him back out into the battlefield. They tried before the battle between, or Hector tried with Achilles to make an oath of burial to have respect for the bodies. Hector proposes this, but Achilles refuses, and he is this. This would be something that would not necessarily show in favor of the code of honor for Achilles, because he does not agree to give the proper burial to each one. And then it's basically in Achilles' mind, he knows that he is going to be the victor, so he is saying that he is not going to give this right for Hector, which could jeopardize his entire afterlife situation. As they fight, they begin their duel. There is a drastic appearance of the humanization of Hector. We've seen this responsible, dutiful, controlled warrior, but now we see one that has embraced terror. And is this a disregard for the code of honor, the way he acts because he is afraid? Or is it just human nature? And then there is a total disregarding of the code of honor in the way that Achilles treats Hector's body. He does not show any respect. He ties it to the back of his chariot and drags it around and around the walls of Troy for his fellow men to see. And it's an ugly day for Achilles, but it is one that he is trying to prove a point and make a lesson. There is a fun fact for you. Hector is the only character to appear in every single book of the poem. So while he is known, basically not necessarily the hero of the book, because Achilles is that focus, he does carry a lot of weight. And it is a sad day for the Trojans that Hector does fall, because even though he's not necessarily what Homer has deemed the hero of the book, and it's arguable whether or not Achilles actually is, because of the actions that he displayed, but Hector is a very important character and one that will be greatly missed among the Trojan people.